Our contributions in education will be our legacy in this industry.
Whether it's through live education or maybe through social media, we're always trying to make a personal connection with you, the learner.
At Sanvia, we believe our smile is our business card and our personality is our logo. And how we make people feel after you experience our education and tools is our trademark.
Join us.
Join us.
Join us.
Join us, my friends, and be a part of the Sanvia community.
Hey everybody, it's your friend Andrew Carruthers, Education Director for Sanvia, here with another Wellness Wednesday. So this is our chance to speak to our community more from a mental, spiritual, energetic, physical health kind of perspective. For some of you, you might not know that beyond being a hairdresser, I'm also a life coach. And so this has become a big passion project for me to be able to bring on guests that just can help us in a unique and different way. So today I have a friend of mine and a new friend of mine. I started to meet Shannon King quite a few years ago. I want to say 5 or 6 years ago through the hair shows. And just, he's that guy that every time you see him at a show, you walk up and you just, have a big high five or a hug or something. And then you just end up having these killer conversations. We've got lots in common through martial arts and just different types of things that we're interested in. So he was always a guy that I was super stoked to see. So not seeing him this year at all the shows has been rough on me, but thankfully, we've had lots of opportunity to hang out digitally. And his beautiful wife, Allyson, she just, the few times that I've gotten to speak to her now, she just has such an incredibly warm heart. And I've heard from a few of their staff members that she's quite the mama in the salon, good at taking care of everyone. So without any further ado, without any more pitter patter of my jabberjaw, let's bring in Chewbacca and Allyson.
Oh God. Hi.
What's up?
This is the perfect way for you guys to jump on screen because that's Shannon right there.
Hey.
Every day.
And we're really sorry for you, Allyson.
Everyone, trust me, everyone is. Everyone is. They're like, are you sure? Are you sure?
He always makes me laugh, that's for sure.
So why I wanted to have these two on is they have a lot going on. They're co-owners of 2 salons called Hair & Co. Brooklyn, and they have a consulting company called Beauty 360. Shannon is a platform artist. They've got a daughter. They've got tons going on. But every time I talk to Shannon or talk to them together, it just seems like things seem to be going pretty well. And so I reached out and I said, I think a lot of hairdressers out there could use some enlightening from you on how are you finding these opportunities in this space of a little chaos and a little bit of challenge. So that's kind of what we're going to focus on today. But before we get too far into that, tell them a little bit about what you're doing with Beauty 360, because that's kind of a new thing probably for some of the people here.
Sounds great. Would you like to start?
No, go for it.
Beauty 360 really was, we honestly clashed like, and had this idea, pretty much because I love the technical and Allyson does as well. Don't get that twisted. Don't get that wrong. She absolutely loves the technical side of our industry, and we both love the artistic side of the industry. It's just more of my passion, if you will. Mm-hmm. But then, there's a lot that we don't know about our industry. And a lot of that really comes down to the operational side. And, we've always, and Allyson is I'll brag for a second, but she's been the head of like multi-unit. I mean, if you can imagine operating 1,200 salons,
Wow.
she's done that.
I can't imagine doing that.
I mean, can you imagine operating, eight, 700 salons? She's done that. And in Beauty Box, can you imagine, operating, 8 salons? She's done that. I never have. I've always been curious. I understand how to build teams and operate teams and so on. But so what we really want to do is kind of go, what is the business side? What is the operational side of things? And then what's the artistic side of things, and make them just merge. And we always think about hair and beauty in a 360 approach. So it's not just like straight or wavy or curly, and, or color or just cutting, but everything, so that's where Beauty 360 came from. And, really, it was about how do we share what we've learned in a couple decades, and
More than 10 years gives you credibility.
more than
shared
10.
page.
That's right, baby. That's right. And still see these grays, see these babies, but they're all, well, half of them are yours and some of them are Sydney's.
Yeah,
So,
totally.
but it was really about like how do we share what we've learned, and I was fortunate to travel basically the world, and be on every continent except for Antarctica, and touch basically the entire world doing hair and educating hair. And Allyson's touched basically every aspect of operational business when it comes to salons. So we wanted to merge that. We wanted to bring that together, and then just go, what do people want? What would help them out? What would they love to talk about or explore, and so on? And I guess that's what we kind of did.
Nice.
So
Very cool. Yeah. So you basically, what you offer to salons or salon groups is kind of 360 consulting, meaning you can do it from the technical side, you can do it from the business and numbers side, you can kind of offer them anything.
Nobody knows the P&L like this one. She like,
Or
look,
head of hair.
I'd love to get into some hair, but I tell you, she loves to get into P&L and shit, and that will adjust your life.
Yeah.
When you get into a P&L and to your business and so on. I mean, don't get me wrong. I love the hair aspect. You have to have that too. Don't get me wrong. You can't just do business and not be great at what you do, because there's a McDonald's, there's a Burger King, there's a Wendy's, but they're all different. But then you have that special place where you go for that one burger because of the way that they do it. So that's about the way that we do hair, but when it comes down to it, there is, they all are businesses, and they all have to operate on their ultimate level. And that's where, Allyson is the king.
The Burger King?
No, just
No,
Allyson
she's just
King.
the king. She's the king, so.
Just Allyson King.
Well, and I think too, especially because you have had so many different kind of experiences within business, you can probably coach to a lot of different types of salons. Or is there kind of a specific kind of salon that you specialize in?
I really have the gamut. I mean, in our consulting portfolio, we've got everything from a Forge hair salon in Baton Rouge, Louisiana, all the way up to several $1 million a year. And I think the beauty of what we do is everything's custom. We don't have one size fits all. We don't have, if you come on board with us, we're going to blow up your salon and you have to do everything the way we do it. We really come in and get to know your vibe and your tribe and really understand who you are as a leader and who you are as a coach. And then what's working in your business and how do we take that to the next level? What's not working and how do we give you a system, a process, a tool that'll make it work more effectively? And I think that's really what makes us unique is, coming from large chains for myself, we had a consultant come in and blow up our whole system and we had to do it a certain way. And we've seen how that works or didn't work. And so I think now that we've had the opportunity to see it in many different companies, I've got a client in Houston, Texas, and he's has a great business, but he's not going to coach a bunch of metrics. That's not his vibe and style. He just wants to see the top line grow. And so we build a system that works for that. We've got other clients that are, complete educators to the bone. And, that can be a very different coaching system. And so we really try to take it, whether it's the operations or the education, and really try to marry it to what's right for the business.
Cool. Very cool.
Yeah. Well, he always teases me because with everything being custom, it's a lot of homework.
Yeah.
But I think we've really been able to create some things. Yeah. We've really been able to create some things that are just right for the client that we're working with, which is nice.
That's cool. I love it.
Really what people want right now. I mean, it's not one size fits all, and you can't put that square peg into that round hole, if you will. So it's really like, and there's a love of what people have done to create their business. Mm-hmm. We understand that. We create our business out of passion, out of love, out of want, even out of necessity. So how dare us to come in and say, no, that's not right. You have to do it this way.
Yeah, totally.
Well, you know what I'm saying? That's not cool. What we do is say, tell us what you're doing, where you want to do, and where are your hiccups, where are your road bumps, and how can we assist you based on 10 years. More than 10 years of information, and from basically global information. I can tell you about a salon in Korea, that I saw that was like a beehive. It was absolutely stunning. It was incredible the way that this thing operated. I've never seen that in the United States. But if somebody wants that, we can share how to get there. But there's ways to get to do all these different things, and even a group of salons that we both work with in Europe, in England, in Manchester, England, where they basically were doing the things, on the right places. But that's really, it really is about grabbing all the stuff that we've learned and understood, and then sharing with other people, so they can complete their dreams.
Absolutely. Yeah. We've got lots of people checking in on the chat. We've got a couple of our regulars, Diane Zeisler and Tara Duddy, are in the house. They're here every single show.
Hello.
Hi, Jane and Brunilda. Sandra Z is saying we need something like this in Ireland. Can you guys do coaching in Ireland?
Yeah,
love to.
We can do that.
There you go.
I'm Irish, and I've never gotten to see
I've never taken her to Ireland. I need to take her to Ireland. I have to take her to Ireland. And my name's Shannon. There's a river, I heard. So I've got to take my wife to Ireland.
Oh, Shannon. Yeah.
Oh, Shannon.
Joe Chesbro saying hi to you, Shannon.
Up,
We've got lots and lots of people. We've got people from all over the globe, too. William saying, hey, favorite couple, William T. Stahl. Judith's in the house. Ulissa, Marco. Hi, Bernadette. You've been joining us very often. So, yeah, lots and lots of love already, guys. Honestly, it seems like already we've got people that are just stoked on the conversation. So I do want to kind of take it in a direction, though, because when we talked about just what we wanted to share today, I was blown away by our conversation around something very simple that lots of people have had to adapt to, which is virtual consultations. So talk to us a little bit about like how you implemented those, what you've been discovering, because you've had some killer discoveries on this. But yeah, share with them like what's been happening.
Well, I'll set up kind of what we did, and then you can talk about what they are,
yeah,
and then we'll kind of talk about what we learned.
Okay.
Coming back and reopening, and we're in New York City, or obviously Brooklyn, New York, and so we were closed for a full 3 months, an entire rebooking cycle. And opening at 50% capacity, we really needed to make sure that every spot was golden on the book. We couldn't afford to have anyone come in and what we thought the appointment wasn't that. And so we came up with the idea of doing virtual consultations with all of our clients coming back from COVID, so that we could really just check in, see where their hair is,
Yeah.
see how many of them use the, lemon, mayonnaise, avocado,
What the hell?
I don't know,
Freaking salad
grass
dressing on their head.
mask, and what we were going to have to do to get it out.
Put an egg on it.
And just really know what the time was going to be. And so that really was kind of, from a business perspective, my thought was about, book protection and how do I make sure every slot is golden and full. Mm-hmm. And, from the artistic side, it was really for him, and then I'll kind of let him loose, is, how do we make sure we maximize the visit and kind of go from there? So off we went. Why don't you tell them about what you set up?
Well, the thing was, here's the thing. We wanted to take the time that, look, everybody was thinking the same thing. They all wanted an Oprah makeover, right?
Right.
They wanted, like, look, from soup to nuts. When I leave here, my hair is gonna be from black to blonde. It's gonna have some dimension, the new shape. I'm gonna be 20 pounds lighter. I'm gonna have a new dress. What are you talking about? Yeah. And it's not gonna. It's like we're all coming out of this the same way. We're all coming out of our hibernation, if you will, and from the pause. So we really wanted to just like take the time that it used to look like and shrink it. How do we shrink it? Let's have a conversation earlier. So the conversation was about, like, what's your hair look like? And we all know that clients still today show up and they go, I want this. And you're like, what the hell is that? And that still takes a lot of time, right? So we wanted to go, why don't we check in with people and see what is it going to be? What does your hair look like right now? And quite honestly, we got to see the real deal. We got to see, like, the real deal. So we're like, so did you color your hair at home by yourself? No. But they look like Allyson, but their hair was like mine. I'm like, yeah, well, okay. All right. So what's your real goal? And then from that, the way that we set our team up was to go, look, guys, you are the professional. Period. You went to school for this. You train longer than a lot of professions to be deemed as a professional hairdresser. Right. Now's your time, right? What you see, you have to say. It's like in New York, see something, say something, right? Mm-hmm. If you don't, they won't get it. So you have to say, here's what I see in your hair. Go like this for me. And then they go like that, and boom, things blow up or break. You know that their hair is super dry. What do they need? Moisture. So now talk to them about that. Talk about their moisture regimen. When you come in, I've got a treatment for you. This treatment is going to cost you $40. But with a haircut, it costs you $25.
Right.
We call those hydrating haircuts. Or we have another process where if you did do the mayonnaise, olive oil, egg, and all that stuff on your head, then we have a detox treatment. So we can get all that mess off, right? And get back to business. So
Diane called it the secret recipe hairdressing.
Right. Secret recipe hairdressing. I love it. So that was really where we wanted to go. And it was really an opportunity to take that 10, 15 minutes, 5 minutes. Some people don't even do consultations. They just start. But we want to take that time and shrink it and do it earlier. But then also what that allows us to do is to get back in the minds of the people that are needing their hair done before they even come and see us. And so now they're really thinking like, oh man, this Hair & Co. Brooklyn is a place to be because they checked in with me. No other salon is doing that.
Well, and I think there's a key point in this that you set up, Shannon, that was really, I think, a game changer for us. One, he mentioned, which was tell them what you see. Like, take control of the conversation and tell them what you see in their hair. But I think the other thing came in the recommendations and setting realistic expectations, right? So then it was, okay, I'm sorry.
No, that's good.
But then, it was, if your hair's this and you want to be this, realistically, what can I do in one visit?
We'll do it once.
And what do you have to do to, what do you have to do to take care of it between visits? And what is this going to look like? And let's make all 3 reservations now.
It's about the journey.
And so I think that was a critical component that you you kind of infused in that process and made it okay to say, we can't do this in 2 hours.
Yeah.
Like, we didn't get there in December in 2 hours. It was 3 visits. We're not going to get there in 1 visit when I haven't seen you in 6 months.
And that was really about the stylist taking the power back, if you will, and saying, I do know what I see. I do see your hair. Allow me to instruct you and be a hair consultant, if you will, and say, look, I can't get you from A to Z in one shot. I can get you from A to C. And then I'll get you from C to T. And then from T to whatever, and move that along. And that's what our industry, honestly, has been lacking.
Yeah.
We've lost that. And it's a shame, because what we do, and we're pleasers. We want to please people. We want them to like us. We want them to love the work that we put into it and do. But when someone comes in and they say, I want this, and we say, okay, that's a promise. Yeah. And that promise can't always be done in one shot, especially if you're dealing with this type of texture.
Mm-hmm.
It can't be done even with
for my prosody.
Her prosody,
Right.
Maybe it needs that treatment. Maybe it's just going, let me get you there. And then we'll go to there, and then to there, and then to there, and then have that journey. And I think that's respectful. I think that's something that we've lost. We've gotten away from. We're like, no problem. Your hair is all black. You did it all yourself. No problem. I'll make you a rainbow.
Yeah.
I will send you a rainbow emoji, but I will not get you to a rainbow today.
Yeah. One of the things that you said in our conversation too that I thought was super powerful is we're not taking orders for the art, which
that's right.
I loved when you said that, because I think that's
right.
Exactly what we should be trying to do is stop taking orders for what they want, because we're not Burger King. Like, you can't
come here
off the menu.
Yeah. Come here
and you're right. We saw lots of people having a huge challenge with that over these last couple of years, because especially like Pinterest and stuff. Hi, love. How are you?
That's our Sydney. She's like, what?
Don't worry. Only 84 people saw you.
She just kind of eases in from the side and she's out. Yeah. About to be exactly that. Exactly that.
But, lots of people were running into a lot of challenges with this, because things like Pinterest and Instagram feeds were making people think that you can go from jet black store-bought color into, rainbow bright hair. And so they would come in with those expectations. So how for you guys has implementing this extra time it's not extra time in the salon, it's extra time out of the salon. Yes. But how is implementing that process kind of shifting away from that feeling of having to take the order?
It's been at ease, and it allows you just to take some breaths. It allows you just to concentrate and breathe and focus on the task at hand, not the entire marathon. It's like, well, let's just run this first mile, and then let's run another one, and another one, and another one. TJ Khaled. Oh, I'm just kidding. Anyway, and another one. But the thing is, though, and you're right. What I meant by that was exactly what you said. It's like, let's stop taking orders as an artist. The reason why a lot of us got in this industry was to have that creative ability. Yet we understand this is a service industry. But let's not get this confused. You are the professional. You are the authority until you're proven otherwise. Yeah. And there's no reason for a phone, a Pinterest picture. Nothing against Pinterest or any of the research and the creative inspiration that people come with. I love when people bring photos. I get them every day. But when they bring them, they go, I want this. I go, let me tell you the difference in this and you. Immediately, they're listening. And then it's about your expertise, their head form, their tone, the feeling of their hair, their fabric, versus what they just see in a photo. Because that photo took like 8 hours. I'm not trying to fall in love with you for 8 hours. Oh no, I want to see you and go on, get out of here. You know.
Well, and I think I'll take a different side of it, because Shannon's obviously the artist, and I try art, but not so much. You know, I think for me, and I was actually talking to one of our team members, Annalisa, about this today, and Annalisa, it was an apprentice in our system. She's been on the floor for give or take a year. I lose track of time. And she has come out of this process killer. And I was talking to her about it today, and I said, what's changed since when we were here in March to here now? And she's like, I don't know, I'm really confident. What I think the virtual consultation did is it stripped everything you're used to away from you and made you learn how to talk to the client. Because you had nothing but like a screen.
That's big.
You couldn't play with their hair. You couldn't go, I'm going to go mix and run away. Like, you were like, oh, shoot, how are you?
Right.
How have you been? Right. And now you have to like say something. Right. Mm-hmm. And so I think what was neat is they had to put a lookbook together on their phone. So if they were thinking something different, they had a picture to show. They had to think about some things. The clients would send in a few pictures before the consultation. So at least they had an idea where they were.
But we also challenged our team to have their pictures ready.
Right. And so they had to come prepared. And so I think, you know, in talking with Annalisa today, I think the win was they actually learned how to get away from what the appointment is and think about, what does the client want? What do I see? And what is it going to take to get them to where I can, whether it's to their picture or what I think it needs to be. And once they've done that 3 or 4 times, it almost became now with no fear. And I mean, Annalisa, who's one of our level 1 stylists, I mean, I was on one of the consultations with her, and she sold the girl a detox and a hydrating haircut and the next visit of a balayage. And I'm like, I've never thought of a detox and a hydrating haircut going together, but high five. And I mean, here's the opportunity we've seen on the backside of this that's just really amazing.
Yep.
Is, you know, at the location Annalisa works at, for example, our average ticket since we reopened is up $50 from where we were in March.
So cool.
And, you know, we had 3 or 4 weeks of like, oh my gosh, I don't even know where I'm going to stick another appointment. And things have lulled a little.
I got bursitis from it.
Yeah. But what's amazing is they haven't missed an opportunity. Right. And they're seeing those opportunities. I mean, our retail is almost doubled because of it. And one of our other stylists, Jenny, I was talking to
our treatments are up too.
Yep. I was talking to her the other day, and she's like, I forgot how easy this was. Right? Because you stop thinking about it. You go into just what you do.
Yeah. It's just that pattern and that flow of things. And
I'm like, guys, wherever our total client count is now, or our total revenue is right now, is great. But what I want you to think about is you're hitting all the right notes in delivering a full experience. Yeah. And that's what we've been trying to show, because, I mean, he's the champ at it. Like, I love it when he's in the salon. His clients walk up with $250 worth of retail and all this stuff. And I'm like, thank you, honey. And then they give me the tip, and I put it in my pocket because I figured
my tips. I was like, where's the tips at?
But
I don't think your clients like you, honey. They never tip you.
Yeah,
it's really weird. Peter, those are new shoes?
New shoes. New shoes. I was like, where are those from? Your tips.
Sheila.
Yeah, Sheila Bogan brought us his new shoes.
So again, I don't think that was our intention going in, but I think, you know, Shannon did such a great job taking what he does every day with his clients and helping them connect in a way that was powerful for each of them individually. And I think by stripping away everything that made you feel comfortable, you were forced to do something you weren't comfortable. Mm-hmm. And the byproduct of that has been badass. And I'm just really incredibly proud of the team for what they've been doing.
Oh, the team's been monster.
Yeah,
they've been monster. And everybody stepped up, you know?
Guys, I know in the chat too, like I know that you guys are having some similar experiences to this. So we'd love to see in the chat too, what discoveries have you been having with kind of this forced change? Because Allyson and Shannon, I think you said you're running at about 50% capacity, but actually having still really great months.
Yeah.
Like total.
We were at 50% capacity, and we had our highest at one location. We had our highest sales week we've ever had.
Yep.
So is it just the fact that things are so much more efficient and that each service is so much more complete?
I think.
I think you're right. You know, it's also quite honestly, it's really the experience. It is. We've adjusted the way that we wanted to do the experience, and you know, our Hair and Co is like our CO. People think it stands for company. It really stands for our values. You know, and as you know, we've all been in model rooms and things like that, but nobody does anything themselves. So it's about collaboration. That's the first CO. The second CO for us is about community, and not just the community that we're in. We want to be the community. We want to be the salon of the community, but we also want to do the community hair. That's why we started with just hair. You know, that's what we do. We do all textures, types, you name it, you bring it.
Even I knew it was coming.
Chewbacca comes in.
I knew it was coming.
We're doing that hair. You know, so whatever it is, we're doing it. Our CO stands for confidence. You know, it's about like our level of training. We train together. We get down together. We work with our partners to get as much training as we possibly can. We
get COVID tested together.
We do. We get we do. We get COVID tested every 2 weeks together.
No kidding.
Yes.
As required in New York State.
As a salon. You know, and then lastly, it's really about our commitment. And our commitment really is, and this was so important, and Allyson really was like, no, it has to be a 10. It has to be a 10. There is nothing less. If you're an employee, if you're a client, if you're the mail person, if you're the guy that washes the windows, and this dude that washes the windows goes everywhere around Brooklyn. I don't know how he gets there on a bike, but he does it. You are a 10, and that's how you're treated. That's how you're respected, and that's how we operate.
And I think the only other thing I would add to that is, you know, one of the techniques that we used in booking, we actually teach in our front desk program called Winning the Booking Game. And we worked the book. So there was not a gap that didn't need to be there. No. And the one nice thing about people still being home is we could fill any time slot. So it was about looking at your Tetris board and figuring out where do things go so that you can maximize people's day and people's time. And so if from a front desk, you know, because I lead front of house, so if the front desk team and I win, then we baton pass beautifully to Shannon and the stylist team to be able to upgrade and do all the things that they need to do so that we can maximize not only every spot on the book, but every client when they come in. And that's really, you know, what happened those first couple of weeks we were open. So
yeah, we didn't blow dry for a couple of weeks just so we could all get ourselves back into the the mix. So, yeah, remember? So we shared that with our clients. We said, look, we're not doing any blow dry service. After a couple of weeks, we huddled with our team. We said, what is this? How are you guys feeling first? And I said, do you guys want to get back into this or not? And they were like, yeah, thumbs up, man, let's go. And so what we haven't done is we haven't gotten back to double booking, triple booking, and all that stuff. And everybody's been great, and their numbers have been soaring. And I'm like, holy crap, you know. So it's been nuts. But the clients are feeling it, and they're sharing that with us. They're like, it's so nice that you guys are doing everything. And like, I had a client today tell me like, she said. The less you do is more for me. That whole less is more thing. And I was like, wow, interesting. She goes, the less you do is more for me. And I was like, what? I was like, what do you mean by that? She's like, the less you can do as far as like helping me, coaching me through my finish is way more for me because I do nothing to my hair. I was like, I got you. I got you. She came in with hair. I wish I could show you the photo. That was honestly it was past the middle of her back. And it, like when I shampooed her hair, it took up the entire bowl. She had that much hair. And when she left, it was the ringlets. And she was like, this is what I've been waiting for. And all we did is just bring to life what her natural curl was. And she was like, I'm in love. And I was like, great, here we go. Now you need to take this home, take that home, take that home. She bought it everything. She bought everything. That was
amazing. That just kind of slowing down and, you know, having that personal focus, what a difference that makes. And, you know, what a paradigm shift for our industry. Because, I mean, I'll just ask you, what, you know, now has your coaching even to other salons shifted a little bit as far as how timing and all that stuff works?
Yeah, absolutely. You know, I think it really, you know, obviously it depends what some of your restrictions and things are across the country, but for most of us, that capacity restriction probably is not going away for a while.
For a while, no.
And so, you know, for us, we're in New York City.
Because we know people in the CDC, the health departments, yes.
And I think for us, I mean, particularly being in New York City, we had to come up with something different because have you seen New York City, Red? And so, like, if we're not going to be able to book out every clients on the half an hour, book clients every half hour and just rack and stack, we've got to find another way to do it in a way that we can still create the same amount of revenue.
Yeah.
And so that's, you know, we really brainstormed that a lot while we were closed to just figure out how does that work? And what if we can't go back? You know, and then how does the model change? And so that's what we've really been talking with clients about, not only when they opened and how do they manage that book the first couple weeks.
You nailed it. That's it.
But then what does this look like over time? And I was working with 2 clients today, and even though they didn't do virtual clients when we opened, we talked about how does this become a technique that you do, even let's say you take all of your new clients next month and you do it with new clients, right? Because now you know, they didn't do it when they reopened, but at the same token, now you can still have that learning lesson, that feeling of uncomfort, that learn to talk 15 minutes with like, hi, I have nothing but a Zoom call, and work through that process to be able to create a different experience for your client. And I'll be interested to see how they do with it. So,
What I remember, and I will move forward, but, you know, there is, it always comes down to that experience. You know, it really does. And in these times, I think everybody just wants an experience to feel special. You know, I've had multiple clients that have just broken into tears, you know, the way that they felt after they left. I've watched our team, you know, just do what they love to do. And then all of a sudden somebody's just like, oh my gosh, I'm back. I'm human. I'm me again. And that's more than anything. But you can't do that double, triple booking and so on and so on and so on. You have to really take your time, slow down. And one of the things I remember my back when I raced motocross before I broke my arm, was that, you know, a friend of mine was like, man, I was like, dude, how do you go so fast? He was like, I slowed down. And I didn't get it. He was like, you got to slow down to go fast. And it didn't make sense at first, but then when I tried it, I was like, holy crap, that's how you do it. You got to slow down to go fast. And so part of it is, you know, it works in a lot of things.
So cool. So, man, yeah, like this is so interesting because I've also talked to a lot of stylists that now that they have this new pace of 1-to-1 time, they're not triple and quadruple booking and going home with 40 clients in a single day, just shredded to pieces. You know, they're actually leaving the salon like, okay, that wasn't so gnarly, you know? And so people are kind of like, can I continue doing this? So what do you guys think? Like, what would you say to these stylists that are like, I don't want to go back to 3 and 4 clients at a time?
Well, I think it really comes down to, and we've talked about this potentially for our future, is does it come down to thinking through your worth as it relates to time, right? And so, maybe clients don't book services with you, they start to book blocks of time with you. And you make sure that value is what your value is and what your worth is for that block of time. And, we've been talking to clients across the country, even with getting reopening, just in price increases and things like that related to all the crap we had to buy to reopen and continue to buy to reopen.
Stay open.
But separate from all of that is, if we start to look at our experience like you do with doctors or, other types of industries, it's about the time that we value. And so I think we just need to make sure if that becomes true, then how, if you're going to book 3 hours with me, what does that 3 hours looks like, and how do I maximize that 3 hours so that I can charge what that 3 hours of time is worth for me? And I think that's where we're headed.
Yeah, and that's where it's like, let's not take orders. Let's not take an order and expect that, you ordered this, now it's only that price, or that's what I want to pay for that. It's no. It's like, look, if anybody that's on this live has ever had an attorney for anything, as soon as you talk to them, you're on the clock.
Here's $800 for the 20
You are on the clock. And you're on the clock for their expertise. Now, that's exactly what we get. That's exactly what we share. We've decided to take that and go, nah, just do what you, okay, show me a picture and I'll just do that. And now I'll just make it really easy. No, friends, you can't do that. We spend a lot of time just to get a license. Forget going to Zambia, and spending time with you and like Goldwell and all these other partners that we have in the world, and Cal and so on, that share information, all that time that takes you to learn something and learn how to do that one bob that you freaking nail, right? And now somebody says, no, I don't want that I don't want to pay you for that. No, you do want to pay me for this. You absolutely do, because I'm going to crush it, right? And it's not, a friend of mine always said, it's not about how long it takes. It's not how much it takes to get somewhere. It's about the journey that you had to go through. It's about the 30 years of experience that it took me to get you to be able to learn how to do this bob in 15 minutes. Because at first it took me an hour and a half, but now it takes me 15 minutes. But that took 30 years of my life and learning and training, and you better charge for that. If you don't, man, get out of this industry because you're dragging us down. You're sandbagging it. I know that sounds a little tough, but it's time to change it. Yeah.
And that's part of the opportunity that's happening right now is we have that ability to say, okay, here's my time. Here's what I have available. Here's how I'm going to charge moving forward. The one thing that has come up, and I'd be curious what your thoughts are, because I'm sure you've had this conversation with some of your staff, definitely have heard from the hairdressers as they hear, okay, we'll charge more in this current kind of state of the world. They're like, well, I feel bad because, some of my clients are in financial hardship too. Like, people are losing their jobs and things like that. So there's people that, like, that compassionate part of them is saying, well, I don't want to charge more because, for those reasons I mentioned. So I'd imagine you've probably had some of those conversations with some of your staff. What would you say to that?
We certainly have.
Wait, hang on. Hey, Facebook, y'all get ready, because you're about to hear from Allyson King. That's all I'm going to tell you right now. Okay? Okay?
No, I mean,
get ready, y'all.
I got to tell you, this burns my ass. And, I'm sorry. Like,
preach, go.
we've all had great years and we've all had crappy years, right? And we've had years where you can write the rent check and where years we can't write the rent check. But has ever one of our clients wrote the rent check for us and goes, oh, I know you're short on your rent this month. Let me pay twice as much. No. So like I go to McDonald's now, it's 2 for $7. What happened for the dollar menu? Like, so if I've got to pay extra everywhere else, why does it matter that they pay us extra? I mean, here's the reality of it. Stop it. I hate this. Burns me.
I told him get ready.
I love it. Go.
Get ready.
Here's the reality of it. The reality of it is why should we as an industry, why as we as salon professionals, do we have to starve so our clients can eat? We've launched a process in our salons called Vish, and we're now charging our clients for the products we use. We're charging $7, $20, $40 extra because of the products we use.
Because they have hair to their butt, and they still want the same color.
And you know what? Not one client has blinked an eye. They've paid it. And this is the perfect timing because nobody expects anything to be cheaper right now.
Yeah. And
if they can't afford it, then give them something they can afford. But don't downgrade your worth or your time we spent $10,000 just to be able to reopen the freaking salon. And do you think I'm going to charge you less? No.
Wait, but it was more than that. I painted.
Oh, and he painted. I don't know if I paid you your worth for that. I was in Florida.
Yes.
So again, I just think it's time that we look at this like a business. And if it now costs you more to do the service, because it does.
Yes, Adina.
Then charge for it, because everybody else is. I mean, what? I just bought a thing of Bounty paper towels for like $54.
What?
Right.
You did?
I did. Because I'm
Shannon, that's where your tips went.
Yeah, I mean.
Shoot, I was gone for 83 days with our daughter, and he had enough toilet paper, paper towels, hand wipes,
I was
name it,
home
to
alone
last
for
a year.
83 days, man.
I
had
stocked the fridge, you name it. He was good.
I was good. That's true. And I go, there's also that, that almost that dry cleaner analogy. If you go to the dry cleaner, different, but same. You go to the dry cleaner, you give them your stuff, and you go, all right, I'll get it back. And they're like, I'll see you in a week. It's like, let's call it $10. You want it back tomorrow? It's 15. It's 20. You want it faster, smoother, sexier, whatever? That costs money. That's what I'm saying. Stop taking orders. Even if you supersize it, it costs money.
Yeah.
Come on. People want the soup. They want that. Hey, Tony Ann's here.
Yeah.
She's like, be honest in your consultation about your pricing. Shouldn't run into an issue. That's right. Just tell them right up front. I've had several clients that was like, so you booked with me online. I've never done your hair. Did you see my prices? No. Here's what it is. They're like, okay. And I said, and by the way, you might want to go ahead and add another 25 onto that. They're like, why? I said, because your hair needs it. So you're getting a hydrating haircut today. And you've got, look, if I do it, just do the treatment, it's 45. But since you're getting a haircut, might as well get that too. That hydrating haircut, now it's only 25 extra. All right. Costs you 0 extra time. Okay. For some reason, at that one price, they were like, oh my gosh. But then I raised it and they were like, okay. But you're right. See, I told you guys on Facebook, she's going to get you. She's going to come with a hammer and a shotgun. And I was like, look, you're right. There's no reason for us to, there is 0 reason, guys, for us to continue to discount ourselves.
Love it. I love it. Yes.
The light on thing.
Oh, I thought he was just like, I'm done. I'm out of here.
I'm out of here. Yep. Drop the mic.
No.
No, just the sun went down, so it was getting dark.
Yeah. Yeah, and kind of to Tony Ann's point too, going back to that virtual consultation.
Yep.
I don't know. I just am super into this concept because it's a dedicated space that it's like, here's a block of time that you're not going to have to give up because your last client ran late. Like there's not going to be a hurry. There's not going to be a push through it. It's like, okay, I have this 10-minute Zoom call booked with my client. We're going to talk about every aspect of their hair. They know exactly what that time is for. The client is looking to hear, here's what I suggest. Here are the products I recommend. Here's the pricing that you can expect. Like it is setting up this whole new expectation of what that communication and what that consultation looks like. And hopefully what it'll do is, as we do start to bring those consultation back into real time, it'll continue.
Yeah, I agree. And you know what's amazing though is that, like, and I think a lot of people have shared even in the chat and so on, is that there's there's value in the experience, right? And that's something that I think we both really try to like really bang on and make sure that it's not just a technical experience, because we've all tried to cut our own hair, but it's.
Why did you look at me? Did you see my video?
Well, we know, but there's everything in the experience. There's a value in that, and I think that when clients come in, they go, "I'm the only one that you're with right now. I'm the only." They feel like they're the only person in your world at that moment for the hour, that 2 hours, that hour and a half, whatever it is. That's special, and I think people need something special. They want something special, and Allyson makes sure that our team continues to think about that. In not only in our greeting, but like the way they come in and the way they leave. And then I try to focus on how they feel special when it comes to the way that they're in session, when they're in the chair. Are you looking at them? Did you pick up a shear, a comb, a clipper, a saw, a freaking hammer and everything and just go, okay, let's go in attack mode? Or did you just go, here's what I'm going to do right now. I have a comb, I have my clips. I want to section your hair and really take my time and make sure that's pristine. Okay, if you're ready, show me with your hands, where do you want your hair to land? Okay, I promise you I will nail that. Are you ready to start? Yes. Okay, now I'm going to start with my shears. And these shears have been cleaned, they've been sterilized, they're ready for you. Yeah. Take those extra moments. It's 5 seconds. It's 5 seconds extra, but it means the world to somebody. It means the absolute world to them. I promise you, it will change the way that they feel about our industry and the way they feel about you as an individual.
Nice. Very cool. Tara asked the question, how do you schedule the Zoom calls? Like how far in advance? And
big learning lesson.
Okay.
Facebook, get ready. It's Allyson King. Hang on. Here we go.
Okay. So I wouldn't necessarily recommend you doing this with every single client when you reopen after a 3-month closure.
Okay.
That was a little much.
Hi, Sonia.
But hi, Jaleesa. But when we opened, we wanted to touch everybody, and so really what we did was we had, ideally everybody took the first hour of their shift, and we tried to book them at the first hour of the shift. The reality was that didn't really work out. So then we found gaps, like where a color was processing, we'd stick them in those gaps. What we learned in the end is to keep it to the beginning or the end of the day, just so things don't kind of run together. We happen to use Zoom, and we set up a Zoom account for each salon so that we can schedule them. And we learned to try to not schedule them more than either the morning of or the evening before, because when the Zoom invitation gets too far down in someone's email, then they call and go, I didn't get a link for my Zoom, right? So we tend to, whoever's in front of house that morning will send all those virtual consultation links out for that day, so that they get them pretty early in the morning, but that way it's not forgotten.
Nice.
Yeah.
Very cool.
All right. Let me give you the other side of that too. You gotta keep up. they are very. There's a lot to them. It is a full on. It is more. It's more than just a Zoom. You know, it really is a conversation about how to dig somebody out of what they've been going through for now 5 months. My last client today, before I left the salon, hasn't had her haircut for a year. And she was like, she was in tears. She was like, I look amazing. She was like, I haven't seen myself like this in forever, you know, but I didn't have a Zoom with her. She booked herself, and it was like, okay, you know, so it was like sight unseen, here we go. And, but literally her hair took up the entire bowl. It took up the entire sink. I was like, I need another hose, you know, so, but, you know, the Zoom calls, I believe, will adjust the way that the way your clients come back and see you, especially when it comes to color. You know, if there's a chemical service, focus on that. My suggestion would be also with what Allyson shared is that, do you need them always for the haircuts? Maybe not. But if you, and we learned that, but for anything chemical wise, if you're doing smoothing treatments, color services, big transition, the big chop, if you will, that clients will call that, you want to have that Zoom. And you want to set them up with, here's what you're going to, please get ready for this. And this is going to be your experience, you know, as you come back.
Very cool. Nice. I love it. Well, we're getting a little close on time. I wanted to ask you guys a question.
Shizzle.
What was your wedding song?
At Last was our last dance. Our last. Who at Liz Biz? Is Liz Lemon on here?
No, it was actually Valeria. Is that her name? Valeria. Yeah.
Valeria from the yes.
So
I kind of did a little snooping and like texting with some of your staff.
Funny. That's so funny.
So we were in the salon. Was it yesterday?
Yes.
It was yesterday. And I was working with Stacey Ann. You were finishing a client, and I was working with Stacey Ann on doing an order for the first time. And so I'm mid-inventory, like how many KMS products do we have? You know, trying to figure out what we're supposed to order. And all of a sudden, the song comes on the radio or on Pandora. And so he grabs me and we start dancing in the salon, and Liz gets it on video, so it's in her story. And she's so funny. She's like, it went from inventory to dancing. And like that.
And everybody's just looking at us like, what the hell are they doing? What are you guys doing? And I was like, oh, this was one of our wedding songs. This is our last song. I was like, hey, come on. We hear this song, we gotta get together and make it happen.
Yeah. Funny. I'll
so
get you
cool.
there, yeah.
Well, and you better be thankful too, because Tony Ann, I don't know if you're still watching, but I couldn't get the video to play, unfortunately. She sent me a picture of your video of your silk press.
You gotta post it later, Pablo.
I couldn't figure out how to convert it to something that this video player would play, but I wanted to play it so bad. So Shannon was the model for their silk press class one time, and he's like just doing this little.
We didn't have to be a model again.
Oh, it's
I was like, I'm done being a model. Thank you, Tony Ann. Thank you very much.
Was amazing.
No, it was not. It was not. It was not. It was not. It was not.
Amazing.
It was no.
What I love about Shannon is he will he will take one for the team.
100%.
We have one stylist whose model didn't show, and again, we are committed that every stylist can do all types and textures of hair.
That's right.
And we wanted everyone to work on live heads of hair so that they could really experience it. And so then it's not me, so it was him. And God bless him. And the stylist can bang out a silk press now, but needless to say, he started growing dreads the next day.
Yeah, I was silky smooth and lay it to the side, man. And I will.
Something out of a 70s funk band.
It was a very cute video, especially the
Oh, you
sunglasses.
saw it. So,
Oh, I did see the video. I just couldn't get it to. I was gonna play.
Fired.
I was gonna play it today on our show, but I just couldn't make it happen. But hey, I want you guys to know though, like every person that I reached out to just said how compassionate you guys are, and exactly what you just said. They feel like you guys would do anything for them. That you'll always put them first, and I think that that's
Absolutely.
the hallmarks of great ownership.
No, thank you guys. We couldn't do it without you.
Yep, for sure.
All right, guys, we got to wrap this up. I'm thinking we'll have you guys back on because we didn't even get to talk about the other subject we wanted to. So we'll have you guys back on in a little while and
Let's do
dig
it.
back into some new things
It's been
too.
an honor and a pleasure.
Yeah. So thank you guys so much for joining us. Thank you all for your time in the comments and all your great comments. Of course, stay tuned to the Facebook and YouTube channels. Tons more education coming up. We've got Mannequin Monday, Transformation Tuesday, Wellness Wednesday, plus Show Must Go On is going to continue as a monthly hair show for you guys. So
You guys
just
are
got
killing it.
tons.
Allyson, do you want to share your Instagram or whatever? Our
Well,
salon.
I think we're on the screen.
Oh, that's it.
Yep.
Yeah, and
So follow us.
And the salon is at hair ANDCOBKLYN.com.
Yeah.
And
and if you guys, I was going to say, if you guys are looking to connect with them, if you just go to the description in the video, I have all of their individual handles. I have their website for you guys. So make sure you reach out, make a connection with these two because they're just fantastic people. So.
Thank you.
Tony Ann, I can't. When I see you, oh my gosh, I can't believe you shared that video.
Sorry, Tony Ann.
Wish I thought of it.
No.
All right, guys, say goodbye.
All right, have a good one.
Bye, y'all.
Seeing
Thank
everybody.
you.